Hi there, it's Nicole from Mama Elephant, and today I have a card showcasing the new poinsettia stamp set, as well as the frame from the Union Square Frame die collection. And I have created this really simple, beautiful watercolored holiday card with just the stamps from the poinsettia stamp set. There are coordinating dies, so if you wanted to do a little bit more depth and dimension, you could totally do that. What I did was take two of the poinsettia designs from the stamp set and the greeting and place them in my MISTI, and then I'm just going to use my Union Square frame to kind of make sure that's all going to fit like I think I want it to. And then I've trimmed a piece of watercolor cardstock to 4 inches square, and I stamped that with Versamark ink in my MISTI. And then I'm sprinkling on some white embossing powder, and then I will heat set that. It's a little hard to see with the white on white here, but I love the white embossing for watercoloring. Embossing of any color is going to give you kind of a little well for that watercolor to sit, so it won't migrate like it might tend to do if you just have a regular outline. You can do it either way. This is just kind of that simple, easy way. I even call it kind of maybe the lazy way because it's definitely easier for me. I'm heating both the front and the back side of my cardstock. It does help with minimizing warping. You can kind of see maybe a little bit there, the outlines. As I start watercoloring, more and more the design will show up, but it is very hard to see just from the initial little bit of adding color. I generally like to add a little water to the area first and then pick up my watercolor and place that kind of in there and just kind of let it migrate and move as it will. I think it gives you a little bit more of that watercolory look that way, but you could totally do it any way that you feel comfortable watercoloring. I am by no means a watercoloring expert. I only used one shade of red. I did not blend 2 different shades or anything like that. I used 1 shade of red and 1 shade of green, and then I'll be using 2 shades of gold for the background. So pretty simple. I love these particular watercolors. They're really pigmented, so they're going to give you a much darker look, I think. You can see there I'm picking up more watercolor and placing that down. I like the variation in color on the petals. And the image, like I said, is starting to come to life just a little bit because you can see more and more of that color. I'm going to keep laying down this red watercolor until the poinsettias are all finished. That way I only have to change the color in my brush once. You could also use a couple different brushes if you like to watercolor differently, but I generally try to use the same brush. This is kind of a smaller size. It's not the smallest sized brush. The images aren't really that small, so I went ahead and used kind of a little bit bigger brush, not the biggest. I am laying down that olive watercolor now. Sorry, it's a little out of frame. I did not realize it as I was watercoloring. Go ahead and get the rest of these flowers colored. Definitely brings them to life. Add some green to the centers. Now over the greeting, to do that embossed resist, I am applying some of the champagne gold colored watercolor. And I started kind of light. You don't want it to be so much darker over the greeting than it is everywhere else. And I kind of just kept adding more color as I went. And I'm just very carefully going around the rest of the flowers. That's really going to help them pop too off of that white background, especially with the white embossing by having that. I love this champagne gold color. It has a little bit of shimmer to it, which I think is so pretty, especially for a holiday card like this. Really makes it pop. I'll finish going around the whole thing. I think in the video it's a little hard to see the embossing on the greeting, but in real life it's so much easier to read. And even the photo I think shows it a little bit better. Now I did, after I blended all of this out, I hit it with a heat tool to just kind of help dry that kind of quick because I wanted to go ahead and splatter the background with the darker, I think it's maybe the rose gold. And I applied quite a bit of water to my paintbrush and ink, and then I'm simply tapping that paintbrush and splattering the whole surface with some of that gold watercolor paint. Gives it some nice distressing, adds a little bit to the background, really adds some nice interest. I die cut a frame from some gold foil cardstock using that Union Square die, and then I put some adhesive on the back. Place that over my background and then place that on a 4-inch square, or 4¼ inch square rather, card. And then I'm going to finish the card with some sparkling clear sequins. I'm using several different sizes here. And then I'll use some Pretty Pink Posh gold mini star confetti as well. I am using some Ranger multi-matte medium to attach any of the confetti pieces, some of the sequins too. Generally I use bling glue dots, but I had my glue out here, so I kind of was just using that. I like to use the quick stick tool to easily pick up my confetti pieces. Keeps my fingers out of the glue. I use that clear end. They kind of have a little bit of static cling to them, so you can kind of easily pick them up with that clear end and place them right where you want them to go on your card. I'll add a few more of these around on my card. Finish the center of the sequins with that gold star confetti, and that is going to finish up this really pretty, clean and simple watercolored poinsettia holiday card showcasing the new Mama Elephant poinsettia stamp set, available now from Mama Elephant. Thanks for joining me today for this watercolored holiday card. The supplies I've used to create this card are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Please subscribe for weekly card making and stamping videos. Here are a couple more holiday themed cards showcasing Mama Elephant stamps and dies that you might be interested in. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.